Today we're checking out the 2021 Lego Technic Heavy Duty Excavator. As mentioned before, today we are checking out this Lego Technic Heavy Duty Excavator, and I am really excited for this thing. This is my first Lego Technic Excavator ever, so I'm very interested to see how this thing works and how the whole build goes together. So you can see on the box we have our excavator along with our features, obviously being able to move our giant arm with the bucket on the end, and we can also rotate the whole excavator 360 degrees, and you can also see our second build, which will actually be in a second part to this video, and that is kind of a 4-tread tractor with a backhoe, and that thing looks pretty cool. So I cannot wait to get into this thing. So without further ado, let's get into the box. So to get into the box, we have 2 Lego thumb tabs, and of course you just stick your thumb in there and get both of them loose before opening it, and then we can get on into this thing. Again, I'm very excited, and we are finally in. So in there we will find bag of parts number 4, bag of parts number 2, a sticker sheet, bag of parts number 1, 2 bags full of little tiny tank treads, and those are both labeled number 3. Bag of parts number 3 again, so that's just a bigger one. And we also have a pretty nice instruction manual. You have the kind of thicker binding with the bigger sets from Lego. So I'm very excited to get into this build, so let's get into it. Now that we are finally finished, this thing took me a couple hours. There are definitely a lot of small parts, and this thing is not for young children at all. So you definitely have the most small parts, I think, just up in this arm, and that is actually the first thing you build, which I was very happy with just immediately. And all of the mechanisms and everything in this kit are very good and very smooth, and they all work very well. And we even get some little cargo or little dirt or rocks or whatever you want those to be to put in your bucket. So let's take a closer look at all of that right now. So at the front of this little, well, it's really not that little, you can see my hands next to it, we have this awesome excavator, and you can see the bucket is a pretty good sized bucket, and you can actually fit a decent amount of little rocks or those pieces included inside of there, and I suppose you could actually go dig in your backyard in the dirt with this thing, and I think that that is a pretty cool little feature, that it is literally functional, and it can actually kind of function as an actual excavator. Now at the front here we have our little cockpit, we have our little clear plastic piece there to represent the, I guess, really strong glass there for the construction equipment, and it is kind of cloudy, but I think that is just because the Lego people haven't had a perfectly clear version of that part yet, so we do have a little cloudier version of it. And inside, not sure if you can see it, but we do get a little console in there, as well as some sticks off to the side of the seat, and the seat is 1 stud wide. I kind of thought from the box that it was going to be 2 studs wide, but it is only 1, and I do think that that is okay because the cockpit is so small, so I think if they went for a 2 stud wide chair, it would have been too big. Now we also have some really nice vent detailing on the side, and the little swivel that this thing is on is very smooth. You can see I'm kind of using that to show you all of the sides of this, and it makes it very convenient. But you can see these stickers on the side showing the little CL500. I think that's just supposed to be what kind of excavator this is. And you can also see that we have maybe a little maintenance hatch up top there on a sticker on that Technic piece. And then moving around, you have more stickers on more Technic pieces. Of course, it's made entirely of Technic pieces. And you have our little taillights on the back, and those are looking really cool. I really like the shape and just the design of those taillights. Looks really good. And we have our first little knob for one of our action features. You can see above we have a little sticker showing you what exactly that is going to do, and that actually allows us to raise and lower our big arm. So you can see as I twist this, the whole arm is lowering and the bucket just hit the ground. So then we can take the whole thing back up. And you can see this is accomplished by twisting a little universal joint there. And that is also attached to this kind of Lego screw hydraulic piece. And I think those pieces are really cool, and I think that those pieces specifically are going to be a very big draw to this set, because I think you could make some very cool mechanisms with that piece. And we do get one here and one up top on the top of the arm. So I will also show you when we get around to the other side. We have another knob, and that one actually adjusts the top hydraulic piece that I just showed you, and that lets us kind of change the reach of the bucket and kind of makes it so it would dump out pieces and just look really cool. And I really like the function of all of this. It just works very well, and everything about it is really smooth, and everything is just very nice. On the side, you can see that we have some more of that construction detailing, as well as another CL500 sticker. And we have a smoother side here instead of the vents, and we just have a nice black line running all the way underneath this thing. And you can see, again, we're back at the front, and underneath that we have our tracks, which unfortunately don't slide on a hard surface. Well, they do slide, but they don't turn. And the only way you can get them to turn is if you have carpeting, or if you just kind of run your hand underneath it. They slide quite nicely, and it just doesn't get enough grip to be able to move around on this hard surface. So with that said, let's go on to our overview. Overall, this thing is pretty cool, and you can see that all of the mechanisms and everything work really well, and I think for $40, this is definitely a good deal. And I believe this is the first $40 excavator. Now this is US dollars, not Canadian dollars, but this, I believe, is the first $40 excavator, and for that, I think that it is awesome. The tank treads, or the excavator treads, don't have a cheater wheel in between them, so as you just saw, they don't move on hard surfaces. Now this table is pretty slick and kind of slippery, but I think it would do much better on maybe a foam floor or carpeting, or maybe kind of a textured linoleum. And I think that this thing is pretty awesome. Just overall, the mechanisms are great, and I know I've said that a lot, and they are. And we have some little Lego pieces that are included to represent rocks, and you can also throw in some of your extra pieces that you get in that, so you have a little more to pick up. And we even get some traffic cones. So for that, $40 in the description, I have links to it and some other Technic sets down there, and I think that this thing is definitely worth picking up. So it helps out the channel, helps out you, because you're getting this thing and it is awesome. So be sure to check those out, and be sure to like, subscribe, click that bell so you never miss a video. Check out this video, which is actually a bunch of videos, and that is our Lego Technic playlist. And check out this video, which is the one that YouTube recommends just for you. And I'll see you next time on Luclear Fusion.